Welcome! As many of you guys know, Bladeshow is coming up on May 31st, and it lasts until June 2nd, so it is a 3-day event in Atlanta, Georgia. So, for people that don't know what Bladeshow is, or kind of wondering if they should go, this video will be kind of explaining what's there and why it is a fantastic place. So, I will be attending again this year. Went last year. I'll be posting the links to videos of like what I got last year or what I bought last year from Bladeshow. I'll be going this year with a media pass, as they just contacted me back about that. So as you can see, I have a Hogue EX01 that I'll have in the background. I actually got this knife free at Bladeshow from entering one of the contests that they have many of. There's also lotteries where you get the chance to buy a knife, such as the Hinderer lottery and all of that. I'll talk about that later, if I remember to. So as you can see, this is the official program for 2012. So this is last year's. But it will show kind of what they had there and kind of like the overall environment. So let's go to a page where it kind of shows what's in there. Of course, when you go there, I believe they're going to have another book like this this year, like they did last year. And you can see things such as they had a free Write in the Rain notebook. If you visited one of the stands, I ended up getting like 5 because a lot of different stands were doing that. So lots of free stuff, a great environment. And all these people were there as well. Looks like that stopped spinning. Blackwater was there. Blackwater knives. I actually ended up getting a free URSA 6 from their giveaway. So there was very good chances you're going to win at least something or get a bunch of stuff free. In those videos of what I got, you'll see tons and tons of just free stuff, as well as not manuals, catalogs, and that. And instead of the ones they send you in the mail, they're much thicker, much better, especially the Spyderco ones. Also, if you guys are wanting to see anything, if you're unable to make it this year, let me know what you want me to film. I can take pictures of it and everything. It should give me a little more ability since I will have a media pass. So, let's see. Another YouTuber was there. And this was John Grismo. Many of you guys know him. Also, just to let you guys know, a booth that I went to the first thing last year was actually the Microtech booth, because they had a Bladeshow special that I've heard they do every couple of years. This is actually the second time they've done one of those specials, so I'd recommend trying to go there if that's one of the places you're attending. So here we go, the schedule right here, as well as all the booths. So you can see how many booths there are. There's trying to see how many people there are, but each one of these is a booth of people. Like a booth this size, that's about the size of a medium room. So these are pretty huge. The overall atmosphere is much better than at most gun and knife shows. Instead of having to really ask to hold knives, the makers will just hand it to you and be like, feel this. Even if you're not going to get it, I want you to see it. So it's a great atmosphere. I can't say enough good things about it. And you'll see that if you watch my old videos of it. So the events, as you can see, completely packed. On here, it does not show when the lotteries are. Of course, you can ask around when like the Hinderer lottery is, when different giveaways are. Just remember, at the lotteries, it's not a giveaway. You're actually entering for a chance to purchase the knife at a much lower price than would be on the secondary market. So as you can see, there is something to do about every 30 minutes to hour. You can do yoga, apparently. This was last year's, of course, so this isn't going to be what there is this year. This is just giving a demonstration. This year, I know they're going to have a knife-making tutorial of making a steampunk, it's either a fold or a fixed blade, which I'm going to have to see. So there was things like bladesmithing for kids, historical sword play. One that is a must-see is actually, where is it? It's by Ernest Emerson. It's like maybe it's Saturday. Yeah, I don't actually see it on here. Oh, it does actually have Rick Hendrer's lottery. That's what it was last year. But yeah, there is usually a thing by Ernest Emerson where he kind of does a tutorial on knife fighting and self-defense and all of that. And I've heard that it's absolutely amazing. I was unable to go to it last year. I actually forgot, and that was really disappointing that I wasn't able to make it. So this year, I'll definitely try to make it. They also have the one blade sports competition. So they go through an obstacle course, and that looks like a lot of fun. I believe most of the people actually make their own, well, it's right there, make their own knives and then go through that course. And that's cutting through like inch-thick rope, a golf ball, tennis ball, and it's actually a rolling golf ball and tennis ball. So that's really cool. Let's see what else is here. So this is kind of like showing all the exhibitors and booths. So you can see there are a lot. And this isn't the only page full of them. There's another page. And there you go. So literally 5 pages filled with different not distributors, but table holders. Tons of custom makers like Lightfoot knives. Yeah, I don't even recognize all these names, but it is definitely, if you're not able to make it for the full 3-day trip, you should still come, because there's definitely a ton to see, but this is something that if you're not sure if there's enough to spend 3 days on, there definitely is. I spent all 3 days at Bladeshow and still did not get to see all of it. I mean, I went to only one event because my schedule was so packed. Just going, talking to the different knife makers, and yeah, there's a lot to do in that 3 days. Your legs will be tired, I promise. And it's fantastic. I love the environment. I've learned that there's actually places people gather after the show to talk about knives as well. So I'm really excited this year about going to Bladeshow. So let's go through a little bit more of this. Of course, you have some advertisements. Saw this guy, Tom Ferry. I believe he was a custom knife maker on Blade forums. The first person I saw at Bladeshow was actually the Alpha Knife Supply. He was the CEO or owner of Alpha Knife Supply, and they make Damascus. I believe that's Damascus is what they make. Oh no, it was the guy that developed Damascus is that I met on the entrance of Bladeshow. I think he held the door open for us, so that made us feel good. See what else. You can see there's just a lot of stuff here. All these people are here. Actually, one of the things is collectibles insure, or collect insure, right there. I saw them at Bladeshow, and I was thinking about a month ago, oh, I need to find somebody to insure my collection. And then I remembered that I had gotten a free ruler from them, one of those retractable rollers. So definitely a great place to find resources. You're going to get a lot of specials here. I don't think they had like a Bladeshow special, but there's a lot of discounts. Either custom makers will do or production knife companies will do. Although some production companies will only be showing their stuff. I believe Benchmade may have been only showing their stuff. Oh, one of my favorites, Spyderco. At Bladeshow, they have a little area that you're not allowed to film that is all their prototype knives. You can handle them, and that was very, very impressive. There were about 50 different prototypes of knives that aren't actually, like, they still have a couple years or more, and they may not even come out, but they're all Spyderco prototypes. So all the ones you guys are seeing actually being shown, that's been out there for a very long time. So that's one of the cool parts. So if you're ever wanting to see what is coming out in Spyderco from years to come, go check out Spyderco at Bladeshow. Another huge deal is boozy knives. I actually see them at, I don't even remember the name of it, Knob Creek. That's where they go to occasionally. But a lot of cool stuff goes on at Bladeshow. Oh, so let's talk about the lotteries, because I haven't talked about that yet. So the lotteries are, you enter into, like, you put your name in a drawing, and if your name's drawn, you walk up to the table, choose which knife. So let's, for this example, let's say these two knives you enter a drawing for. Your name gets drawn, you walk up to the table, and you say which knife you want to buy. You hand them the money for that specific knife, and you can get it. The difference is that they're a lot less costly than would be on the secondary market, such as Hinderers. Instead of having to pay $800 for a XM18, it's $385 direct from Rick Hinderer if you win that lottery. He also has customs there as well, which if you win one of the lotteries, you're definitely going to get a custom. There are lists of all the lotteries there. I don't remember them off the top of my head. So there you go. There's some of the info about Bladeshow. Don't forget, if you want me to film something, let me know. I will definitely film it. Of course, Spyderco is difficult to film, so I might have to talk to them. Of course, I can't film their prototypes. So there you go. Let's see if there's any other thing. Blade HQ. We like Blade HQ, don't we? Blade HQ is awesome. Just saying that. I really think that's about all. Of course, when you get to Bladeshow, pick one of these up, look through it. You definitely can find some awesome things, because if you just read through it, you can find some awesome deals. They do a lot of times say, stop by our booth, and you'll get something free, or get a discount. That was just an example of, what's it called? The Right in the Rain notebooks. You can get patches for free. I got a deck of Maxpedition cards for free. And that's what you get from just walking around. Sometimes people will just walk up to you and be like, here, have this. And it will be random companies. Also, oh gosh, I can't believe I forgot this. I'll make a part 2 and talk about more stuff. So this is good for now. I'll make a part 2 a little bit closer to the show, and look forward to that. See you guys later.